Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast, gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna make magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no it's not scary. And Odie, she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes, yeah. Kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together and shoot the shit. I, of course, am Mo, a.k.a. Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 113. We are just racking them up. Okay, so real quick before we get into it, you know how there's that phrase like wouldn't hurt a fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a bunch of fucking flies.
Yeah.
That are
I would hurt every fly.
I would hurt
hate
them. I would hurt them.
I literally, like, I feel like I'm being terrorized and I don't understand. Like, there's not.
I got love for all creatures, but I'm trying to murder these flies.
Yeah. Because they come out of nowhere. It's not like there's food anywhere. Like, you could have just having a glass of water.
Yeah.
You're trying to drink it and you're being accosted.
And it's worse because it's those really, really
tiny ones.
Tiny flies
and
that hang around the beers and shit.
So, like, I found out a while back that fruit flies, like, if you have any fruit, like, with skins, like bananas, mangoes, and stuff like that, apparently, at least specifically I know in bananas, fruit flies lay their eggs in bananas. And so when it starts getting hot and you're like, where are all these flies coming from? It's because
they're coming from the
fruit. However, we don't have any fruit out here.
We don't have any fruit. So, like, where are they coming from? Where are they laying the eggs?
I mean,
and where are they coming from?
Now, this is one thing about climate change that I am really nervous about, and it's the influx of bugs. Because if you think about it, most times when summertime, you have bugs.
Sure.
And then the wintertime, like fall, it starts to die off. And then winter, it's so cold, the bugs die. But we didn't really have a super cold winter.
No, we didn't.
And like,
in fact, did it only snow like once?
If it even was once, if it did
even
snow,
snowed at all,
there was like maybe and it was like
a dusting. I think
total out of the whole winter, a total of maybe 2 or 3 weeks where we were like, oh, it's frigid. Outside of that, it was just like, cold. You have to wear a jacket. But in comparison to the heat, like, and I'm never going to be somebody who's like, oh, I hate the summer. I love the fucking heat. I love it being hot. I don't like being cold at all. But I also hate sweating. And today they said that we've been on a heat advisory for the last month.
We're in a heat advisory. Like,
it's only July, and not July and August are usually the hottest months, but like it's been hot since June. Because even my birthday was hot. It was hot because we had that storm, and it's like usually in June.
Where are the summer rains? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut. What happened? Rain whispers me to sleep and wakes me up again. Sometimes I swear I hear her call my name to wash away the pain of summer rain.
I remember when that song came out, everybody was so mad at Carl Thomas because
because it kept playing on the radio.
No, not because it kept playing on the radio. It literally, that song came out like either right before school ended or right as school ended. And literally, I remember it rained like every day that summer. And people were like, it's your fault. Yeah. You did it to us. But no, I'm worried about the climate change, not just because of like the heat and all that. Because even today, there's a bridge that connects, I think, to the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
Manhattan.
I saw that bridge overheated.
Yeah,
and it was
equipment
stuck in
overheated.
place. Yeah.
It was stuck. It took a few hours to get it back because they had to pour water on and all that. But like things like that, because people don't realize the heat does not just impact you. It doesn't just make you hot.
It can impact the infrastructure.
Everything. That is why when you go anywhere, if you work in an office, if you are anywhere where there's a lot of computers, you know that you have to keep the place ventilated and air conditioned because it needs the air. That's why they're talking about AI. It takes up so much energy to like do stuff. So when you're using ChatGPT, people are using it so frivolously and not like
mining for cryptocurrency takes up so much energy.
All those things, and it's like
hot.
You think of like just making one simple image could create so much energy that's being used up and making things hot. And it's like, if there's the way that this air conditioner goes to 61 degrees, and there have been so many, and I'm not someone who I'm not even an air conditioner girly. I like to come home, this is what it is. I like to come home.
Just Con Ed Bill says differently.
I like to put the air on, and then I like it to get cool, and I want to turn it off. That's why sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed, like, it'll be randomly, like, throughout, I'll be like, turn the air conditioner off, and then it'll get hot again, and I'm like, okay, put it back on. Because I prefer to be like, if you're just sitting at home,
I'm still trying to figure out the timer on this thing. Just
me
because.
too. It doesn't. I don't really understand if it's supposed to be you put it
I thought
for
it was
an
like
hour,
for
and
an
then it goes
hour,
on and off.
and then it goes on, and then it goes off. It's supposed to be that way.
But I don't think it. For my experience, it hasn't done it. But like to me, like
either.
I like to come in. I'll put the air on to cool off because when it's like really hot. But then if I'm just sitting here, I'm just watching TV. I'm not cooking or anything. I don't feel the need to have the AC blasting. But the last few weeks, so at least the last 2 weeks that we've been in New York, it doesn't matter if you're just sitting here watching TV, doing nothing, laying in the bed. It's like you cannot get comfortable.
It's that sticky hot. It's that sticky hot.
Now, I did see something online. This was one of those like TikTok, Instagram, reel things that I feel like, ooh, it's going to get me. But it did look like something that was really cool. It's like it's like a fan, but you put ice in it, and then the fan blows it. And to me, that seems to be a more cost-effective way to have like an air conditioner, because that's what people used to have to do before we had like these huge units. It's like you put ice in there and it blows it around. You might have to keep refilling the ice, but like ice at this point it's better to refill the ice and have that than having to keep having like Freon or whatever is in the air conditioner. Because to me, air conditioners make me sick.
I don't know.
Fremulon. No, air conditioners make me sick. Like, that's why, especially in the summer, going in and out of...
But you have like a constant cold.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I have asthma. And I have told you... I always tell you, like, that's why...
That's why you got that new inhaler.
Yes. And because of the fact that, one, like, we definitely have to start masking up again. Like, I've already started, like, of course, going on the plane and stuff, masking, but in general, masking up because COVID is rising and all the other random ass things that are happening. But in the summertime, I am known to get, like, a summertime cough because I'm going in and out of the air conditioner.
How is that any different than your regular cough?
Well, my winter cough is because it's the cold and you're getting, and it's like germs. A summer cough is because it's not like I'm sick.
You also have a fall and a spring cough.
I have a cough for each season. I have a cough for each season. That's from Greece, by the way, if you know.
There it is, yeah.
Which I'm still so mad. I'm still
we don't have
so
a lot
frustrated.
of time,
I'm
but
sorry.
we'll do this real quick. We play a category game on Family Game Night, and the category was musicals. And
literally, I forgot to write down all of my favorite freaking musicals.
Yeah.
I didn't have Rent. I didn't have Phantom of the Opera. I didn't have Chicago. I didn't have Grease, which is insanity.
You didn't have Cabaret.
I didn't have Cabaret.
You didn't have Evita.
These are musicals that I watch on, like, I would say a pretty, like, the movie musicals. I will, like, just be like, oh, I want to watch it.
You didn't have Mamma Mia.
I didn't have A Star Is Born.
You didn't have Chicago. Wait, A Star Is Born isn't a musical, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was a movie.
But I believe that it was on a Broadway.
Okay,
I believe it was. I
have
don't
to
remember,
check.
but I think
I would
it
have
might
to
have.
check.
It might have just because A Star Is Born. The first movie came out in, like, I don't know. It was black and white. It was like 40s, 50s, and then the remake with Barbra Streisand was in the 70s, and then like this one with which is, I mean, I love the Barbra Streisand one. I love the one with Lady Gaga and what's his name, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But you know, all my favorites, I didn't have them, but I was very upset. But I just, climate change is terrible.
Yes,
I do not
is.
want this. If they
That's the headline.
They talk about every year like this is gonna be the like coolest summer for the next few decades if we don't do anything.
It's not the coolest.
But think of it. If right now, when climate change keeps getting worse, that means that we are at, like, we've had a bunch of 85, 95, like, you know, degree days. And if that is New York, like, New York's being that is our, like, coolest time for if you think about in 10 years, if we're getting to 105, and New Yorkers, like, our shit is not built for that. Our infrastructure is not built for that. They haven't updated anything in decades.
We are not made for Cuban links.
There is no way that we are going to be able to sustain this sort of heat because it is not sustainable. And it's like you go outside, the moment you step outside and you are sweating. Okay? And I just saw today someone, not in New York, in California, the Death Valley, someone died of heat stroke. There was someone else last week that died of exposure. Like, it's too much. You weren't here. Well, I think we might have talked about this. When New York had that blackout in 2004.
I was here for that.
You were here for that?
I was here for that.
And just like
I was in Queens with my family. And I know that was the same year that Bad Boy 2 came out because I had the soundtrack and I had Justified. So I had to like go buy batteries, constantly buying batteries for my Walkman, my
Your
CD player. To play those two CDs back to back.
The Sony Discman?
No,
supposed to be no skip.
Yeah, I had one that was like a hybrid MP3 player too. So like what you could do is you could download onto a CD hundreds of songs. And you could play all those songs on that specific CD player.
That's actually been a Twitter like trend this past week of like, are you burned CDs old? And I want to say we are burned CDs.
I used to sell CDs in high school,
but we're also burn tapes old.
We're
record tapes.
Yeah,
and so,
yes,
like,
from the radio.
Yeah, from the radio. And the thing for me, like, if you're a New Yorker, you know that it was always difficult to you would wait to hear a song, but then, what's his name? King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Funk Flex,
yes, because you could never get through a song.
Without
his fucking.
That's the drop I need to get. I need to get explosions.
That's it. We already have those.
Those are air horns. I want explosions, and I
just want to hear the song.
I want gunshots, I want explosions.
I just wanted to hear the song, but yes.
Take a shot.
But yes, the climate change is terrible. We need to fix it. Please hurry up.
That's been the weather report. No, that's not the one I wanted to play. But anyhow, that's been the weather report. Now can we move over to hot topics, pop topics?
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics.
All right, so I just would like to kick things off by commemorating. This is not commemorating something joyful, but it is something that is a part of my history. This past week, July 6th, was the anniversary of the start of the Biafran War. And if you don't know, Biafra was Igbo land, Igbo Kwenu.
Yeah.
And so
do it again.
Igbo Kwenu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We're gonna do it one more time.
Yeah.
Igbo Kwenu.
Yeah.
Thank you. So at this war was started because of.
I hope you like that, Cosmos.
I'm gonna send that to him. I'm going to send that to him. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to send that to him.
I fucking no. What was that thing? What was that phrase? There was a
Undugulugu.
what?
Undugulugu, which I'm probably massacring as well, but Undugulugu means cheers.
I want to say it, but I feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. But I was practicing it
You were.
for this weekend and couldn't
say it.
Couldn't say it. I couldn't say it, but also didn't get an opportunity to say
Well,
it.
there will be others.
There will be others.
But I'll let him know that you were practicing.
I was practicing.
Undugulugu.
Undugoku.
Sounds like you said.
I'm trying. I know, like Undu Goku is what I sounded like. I said.
Anyway.
Anyhow, the Biafran War.
Yes.
This is a solemn thing, so
July 6, 1967.
be respectful.
The Biafran War started. Now, there have been lots of reasons for why people have said it started, but basically, Igbos, my tribe, wanted to break off, or they wanted to bring back the original land and names of like original before it was Nigeria, before it became a British colony. And so the British used their COINTELPRO bullshit to cause dissension. And like, from what I've been told, it wasn't like Igbos were going against everybody else. It was all the different tribes were working together. And then the first person that died was a Yoruba general, but he had been told that someone had someone narked.
It was a false flag thing going.
Probably a British infiltrator or whatever. What do they call them? Conspirator. Told, and so that all of the rest of the generals who were across the different tribes who were supposed to be taken out were not. And then people thought that this was Igbos who were just doing this dirty shit. And then you had the genocide that lasted from 1967 to 1970. And I think I've told you before that our village in Imo State, Mbise, did not fall until 2 days before the war finished, because my grandfather was able to use the resources from his cosmetics company and some Dutch missionaries that he was working with to secure the village.
But that has to suck, though, right?
Oh, of course.
You were so close to the end of the war.
I mean, but it's
obviously when you're in it, you don't know when a war is gonna end. But for it to fall and then 2 days later, it's over.
But at least, 2 days compared to 3 years. I mean, we lost. I know for sure. I lost an uncle. He was murdered in the street. Mm-hmm. If I'm remembering correctly, one of my aunts, who was a baby, got sick during that time and died because she couldn't get medicine. We have our family's original compound, but then there was an original one, but they had to escape that one because of the bombing and shelling, and they went to another area, and so so much of my Nigerian family's life was upended. Like, some of my aunts and uncles don't even know their exact birth dates because of this, and it just was a terrible, terrible time. And I think that's why I have such empathy and sympathy for what's happening in Palestine and Congo. I mean, all of the genocides that are currently happening across the world, because that is so close to my life. And so I just would like to shout out Biafra. Thank you to those who sacrificed their life. And we're trying to create a Nigeria free of oppression and Western influence. And as always, fuck the colonizers, and hope you all rot in your graves. So
fuck you, colonizers.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
All right, so speaking of hating folks.
Yes.
Kendrick dropped.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Sorry. Pop topics. And also, That was the Biafran War.
Did you get the photo of the flag?
I did, and this is the flag.
Which, funny enough, looks very much like the Juneteenth flag and also like the Black flag. So
yeah, it's just missing the sunrise in the middle.
All of the folks that like to have those diaspora wars, just remember that we are all connected regardless of what we want to do.
Yes, it's the circle of life.
The circle
of life. All right, so now let us get into. Oh, do I even have it? Here we go. Are you talking about this?
Well,
Right here?
wait. I wanted to say I wanted to just talk about the video first, and then we could show that
Show the what? The video?
the little clip.
There was a clip of
Yeah, there was a clip.
the video.
There was the clip of the video that I sent you where they were talking about they were doing a breakdown of some of the aspects of the video.
Ooh,
That
okay.
I
What?
asked you if you downloaded it and you said yes.
You didn't actually ask me about this thing. Of all the things that you asked me about, you didn't ask me about the Not Like Us. So, but we're keeping this in. Anyhow, Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video dropped on July 4th.
Yes,
And it was
it was a great video.
an amazing music video. I watched it several times because like with each view there was always something new that I had previously missed. Did you see the the Drake at the very beginning that got swooped up?
Wait, let me put it. I'm not gonna make the sound. Let me mute it. Let me open this up and look at it because I don't remember that part.
Yeah, that part. At the very beginning, that's Drake. Not
that's
him.
Kendrick.
That's Kendrick. Also, there's a song at the very beginning of the music
That
video.
I feel like that's gonna be on his album.
I hope I get this. Am I the only one who gets a weird feeling that there's not going to be a new album?
No, I think there is. And speaking of
Everybody
the video,
has been saying that this is like a rollout to a new album, but
some people have been saying that. So in one part of the video, Kendrick, when he's at the burger joint, which I do have more to say about that burger joint later, but he has on like a blue jacket and it has a date, I think 8/4 or 8/24 or something like that, which is Kobe Bryant's day.
yes.
And they were saying that maybe that's a little Easter egg for him doing that, because he does have like the thing I love about Kendrick, my Gemini King, is that he is definitely very online, even though you don't ever see him online, because he was definitely using so many like memes and bringing them to life. Oh, that's the Drake.
That's supposed to be Drake. Yeah.
Okay, got it. But I loved the video. He had Tommy the Clown, who was also at the Not Like Us concert. He had a bunch of the
Apparently, the number of push-ups that he does is the age of or something like the age that Drake likes or something like
Now,
that.
this is something that we have not yet talked about. But
they beat the shit out of that pinata, that owl
The
pinata.
owl pinata, yeah.
Yeah.
But like this part,
Oh, and apparently he never actually mouths Drake's name in the
but he
entire.
says his name Drake.
No, the song
But
he
he
says
doesn't say
Drake,
it.
but in the music video you never see him mouth the word Drake.
Oh. Brandon T. Jackson was also randomly in this video.
Who?
The actor. Remember the actor who was in
Not
Lottery
famous.
Ticket?
Lottery Ticket.
Yeah, the one who was like, oh, once I put on the dress in Big Mama 2, that
Oh, because as soon as you said Brandon T. Jackson, I was like, that name sounds familiar.
yeah.
Anyhow,
You don't see him a lot. But one thing that I do, some people have been
so
bringing
pop out and
up,
show it.
that I do think is relevant is that why is it that not just Kendrick but all these other people are only calling out Drake on his possible pedophilia or can I say that or we have to cut that out?
No, we can say his.
Can we say that word though? Because
I don't on YouTube. I don't think.
Okay,
we
maybe
can.
we'll cut that out. We'll cut that just the word out.
Yeah.
His possible engaging with young underage girls.
Yeah.
why is it being used for a rap beef, and why didn't you say that earlier? Because your gotcha shouldn't just be, oh, I'm mad at you, now I'm going to tell the world what you're doing. To me, like, I'm going to tell the world what you're doing regardless because you're a terrible person. Like,
well, to be fair, it's not necessarily to be fair, but like, it's the beef started with like a warning of just like, hey, like, here are all the things that I don't like about you, and I've got more, but let's just keep this as a fucking rap thing.
but that's the thing.
And
It's not
then-
just a rap thing. If he is engaging with underage folks and people know that, it's not just a rap thing. Like, Harvey Weinstein didn't need to get into a beef for people to say, like, and they didn't. It took all these people to come out, but people knew. Like, we know Weinstein, Cosby, R. Kelly, all the people that have been come out over years and years, like, people all knew. And it's just kind of like, is Kendrick being a hypocrite?
No, I don't think it's a hypocrite thing. I think
Wait for
it's
me
just
to
like with Drake.
finish my question.
We also knew.
Is Kendrick being a hypocrite because, one, he has known these things and not said them, and two, because he talks about these allegations of, SA for these kids, but he also had Dre at the concert, who is a well-known abuser himself. So it's like, are you only mad at abuse when somebody is not your friend, or are you mad at abuse all the time?
Okay.
And that's something that I think that that doesn't mean that I don't, like the song, like the video, or anything. I don't dislike Kendrick, but I think that has been something that people have talked about, not specifically that with Kendrick, but like sometimes him having, and I guess this is just a Gemini spirit, this flip-flop of like, you talking about you want this, but you're acting like this. Because even when that video, what was the one where he was like, he wants women who are natural. What song was that?
That was Humble.
And thinking it's like, okay, you're talking about you want natural women who look right, but then you also, the women in your videos are all like kind of light skinned or brown skinned.
Well, they weren't light skinned. They weren't dark skinned, but they were.
But
like,
it's like,
chocolate.
what kind of? But even like I think that your perception of this and my perception of this are different because you are not a black woman. So what you see in the video and what I see in the video is going to be different.
I know that our perception is
that
different because
I think
of that.
Those are questions that people need to be asking him as well as themselves. Why are we okay with it be coming out later on that somebody knew somebody was a predator, and them not talking about it earlier?
But here's the
thing:
thing:
that is an important question.
I will say this with the Drake thing. This is not new information. Like this is known information. Like, how we've seen the Millie Bobby Brown stuff. Like, we've seen the Georgia Smith stuff. We've seen
they just had pictures of him at was it Kylie's birthday or someone?
That one model who is really tall but was young. Like,
I don't remember her
do you
name.
know
but
the
I
name
remember.
of the,
I don't know her
who I'm
name,
talking
but I remember
about,
who you're
right?
talking about. But also, we have
Like,
tons
this
of
stuff
pictures
is
and videos
known.
of him for over the last decade of like being at young famous women's birthday parties, kissing on them, and all that.
I equate this to when Hannibal Buress told that joke about Bill Cosby. Like, at that point, people, it was known, it just wasn't talked about, and it took a famous person to spotlight a thing before it got like actual traction, like to be like fearless and being like, hey, I'm gonna talk about this thing that we all know and that we've all witnessed and that we've all seen. Cause like that how many times has that just been the way of just like,
I've got you. I
like,
understand what you're saying.
we see all of these little breadcrumbs, but we don't bring it up or we don't pay attention to it.
What about like
until
him
somebody
having Dr. Dre? Like, he could have had what's his name, E40, bring him out at the concert, but he chose Dr. Dre, who's also an abuser, a well-known abuser. We know he is. It's talked about widely. So
I'm
those
gonna go.
are things
I'm gonna go out on
are-
a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
All right,
this is
don't
not
fall.
gonna be a popular opinion. This is not gonna be a popular opinion.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb.
All right.
Okay. Has Dr. Dre ever he's acknowledged the D Barnes thing, right?
I don't think he's ever acknowledged it. Everybody else in hip hop who knows the story has.
But
she's acknowledged it. He's never taken any accountability for it. He took it out of the movie he made about the NWO.
NWA, not
NWA, whatever.
NWO.
NWO, NWA. Either way, he took that shit out of his documentary movie because he did not want to talk about it because he didn't want to acknowledge it, nor did he want to have any accountability of it. And I remember Dee Barnes has talked about this consistently and has consistently has gotten no acknowledgement, apology, and nothing. And it's not just Dee Barnes. There were other women who we know, one of his ex-wives that we know, and I just think that it's interesting.
I think he only has the one ex-wife.
Well, okay, fine. Or ex-wife or girlfriend, whomever. But I think it's interesting that Kendrick, with the allegations that Drake put against him, and even what he not saying that they were there or not, but if you have these allegations put up against you, but then you're also bringing out an abuser, I think that there's some cognitive dissonance there that needs to be addressed. And it's do you actually care about him being an abuser, or do you just want to get your lick back?
I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
But what do you agree? You haven't said anything that you agreed or disagreed with what I just said. Do you agree that somebody bringing out an abuser on a song where they're calling out an abuser is hypocritical? I
think there are some elements of hypocrisy in there.
Okay.
I think there are some elements of hypocrisy in there.
Then would you say that Kendrick needs to do a little bit more unlearning, soul searching, something?
I think that this is a yes, we could totally look at this as first off, this is the music video, not the sorry. All right. This should be looked at and viewed for what it is, as a sort of celebration of the West Coast. I'm just saying that
but
we can totally look at the other layers of this and totally tear it down.
I'm not tearing it down.
You are tearing it down.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I love the song. I love Kendrick, but
it's literally you sitting here tearing it down first off, we
tearing it down.
We didn't talk about the pop out.
I think
we could have talked about that when we talked about the pop out.
I think that is important.
We're talking about the music video.
I think that is important to bring up these questions because I don't.
Are there any abusers in the music video?
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Is Derrick Rose in the
who's in the clown group? I don't know. But I just think that
the clown is not an abuser.
The clown is not an abuser, no. As far as we know, but I'm not. It's not about tearing somebody down. Is not bringing up facts. I'm bringing up facts. I'm not tearing him down.
It really. How
is me breaking up a fact tearing him down? He has brought up how many facts about Drake in this video? Now he was purposely trying to tear him down. I'm asking questions.
Okay, and you know what? That is well within your right to ask all the questions.
I'm just curious.
You can ask all the questions. You're
not
well
feel
within your right.
Do you feel aggrieved that I've taken?
I'm not
issue?
aggrieved. First off, I don't even. Is that even what is that word? Aggrieved.
Communications major.
Yeah, and I'm trying to communicate that.
Alexa,
I'm not asking.
Define aggrieved.
I'm not saying it's not a word. I'm asking what that word means.
Alexa was about to tell you.
As an adjective, aggregate is usually defined.
And it's not even the right word. So there we go.
Thanks,
Correct.
AI.
Thank you very much. Anyhow.
Combine.
The
Aggrieved means, I want to make sure I'm giving you the correct dictionary definition. Feeling distress or affliction, treated wrongly, offended, treated unjustly as by... Alexa, stop! Treated unjustly as by denial or infringement upon one's legal rights.
I'm not feeling aggrieved. All I am saying is that this was a fun music video.
It is fun.
It was a dope music
I love
video.
this music video.
Okay.
I can't have two thoughts at the same time. Two
No,
things
you
can't
can.
be true.
You can have all the thoughts at the same time.
I love the music
well
video.
aware. You're well within your right to have
I love
multiple
that.
thoughts
I love that
in the
Whitney
music video.
and his kids were in the video dancing along
yeah,
with him.
that was a beautiful thing.
Hating
that
as a
was
family.
totally.
I love that.
In the feud, or in the beef, like Drake tried to make it seem like Whitney had fucked Day Free and that one of his kids wasn't actually Kendrick Lamar's kids and stuff, and that YG was said that he's still good and stuff like that. Yeah, Day Free is as close to Kendrick as anybody, like.
You just feel like you have your cape on right now for Kendrick. I'm
caping for Kendrick because
I'm just asking questions about his allegiance to abusers.
Oh my god! Are there any abusers in the music video?
I don't know. There's not a list of people in the music video. I'm just curious.
Dr. Dre's not in the music video.
He's not.
He was just at the pop
but
out,
that
but
was still
he's
a choice.
It's
still a choice.
Okay.
Is it not a choice to have him there? He could have had somebody else. E40 is right there. You're speechless.
I'm not First off, I'm not speechless.
Speechless.
Because I'm refusing to speak does not make me speechless. How dare you?
Well, somebody who was not speechless this weekend or the week, or when was this? This was...
Yeah, try to segue out of this shit.
Someone who was a bit speechless last week, I think, it was on the 1st, was Rick Ross. Because he got into a fight... because he was performing.
He got into an altercation.
But apparently he was jumped by some OVO dudes, OV hoes.
Some OV bros.
He and his entourage were jumped. Someone was left unconscious. When they went to Canada, they performed a song, and they came out to Not Like Us. So play the clip. So... You see, Rick Ross is like talking to somebody real close. It looks like he might be arguing with somebody. The security's around them. And you hear the music playing in the background. You see all these OB hoes around looking angry. It's a lot of white people, actually, which is not surprising.
It's upsetting to me that anybody, just like a regular person, could just get as close to Rick Ross as they are.
True. I don't know.
And the guy throws a punch at Rick Ross.
I couldn't tell if Rick Ross threw the punch first or the guy threw the punch first.
No, the guy threw the punch first before Rick Ross. Rick Ross got the fuck out of there.
Because...
Oh, wait. Actually, no, that is Rick Ross.
No, he's on the ground... And they were trying to fight, and then there's a bunch of people.
Isn't that Rick Ross right there? Wasn't that Rick Ross?
A green sweatshirt. I mean, just good thing that nobody had a gun, but it was Canada, so that makes sense.
Okay, can I stop this?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So that happened, which is, I'm like, I don't know why. First of all, I'm not fighting anybody over a fucking song. Like, over a song, bruh.
Well, okay, so...
Is OV Hoes a cult?
For further clarification, he was in Toronto when this was...
He was in Canada, yes.
In the background, you could hear Not Like Us playing. Which, by the way, is such a bop that, like, it resonates with everybody.
People have been playing
Canadians.
that song everywhere. I've seen it in Canadian parties. I've seen it in
Canadian
Africa.
parties is what you just said?
No, Canadian parties.
No, it sounded like you said Canadian parties.
Either way, I've seen them played it. Canada, Mexico, Africa. It's been everywhere. Across the continent, across Europe, across the Americas, the Caribbean. I mean, like, everywhere. So he got...
Strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Now... that was poor timing for. I mean, well, poor timing for Rick Ross. It's great for the song because it's probably just gonna get the streams up. But some good timing. Apparently, the burger place in the video, Tams Burgers. The manager Lauro Hernandez and his son Brian No told TMZ that they've been getting so many people coming to their place to get food that they have really picked up business. It said like business is up about 30 to 40%.
Now let me ask you a question. If you were a big time celebrity, where is a place here in Brooklyn that you would like to go and get that place like more followers?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So for me, I'm not gonna lie. I I know how this is gonna sound, but it would be guac time.
You're fucking obsessed with guac time.
I love guac
You're
time.
obsessed.
And actually, I blame you for introducing me to these crunch wraps. Because before, it was always
those
just the burritos.
Yeah.
They have 2-for-1 specials.
Yes, they do.
And they have 2-for-1 burritos, but they also have 2-for-1 crunch wraps.
Yes.
The crunch wraps are a game changer for me because like they're just like a
Flat burrito.
a flat burrito sandwich.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a crunch
Why
wrap.
don't you like burritos?
I
though?
do love burritos. It's just that there's so much. It's like so much. And I don't like reheating them, especially if I get guac or like that I don't like to reheat anything with guac or sour cream in it because I don't like how it tastes. But I do love a good crunch wrap. It's flat. It's easy for me to eat. Things aren't just falling all out everywhere.
Or you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say Vanessa's in Williamsburg, but
Vanessa's dumplings?
they fucking have changed.
The one in
They are
not
so
Lower East Side. The one by Union Square is
fucking
still good.
bullshit now. They don't have the mini pork buns anymore.
Really?
No, they don't.
Those were a staple.
Yeah, they.
The one in the Lower East Side.
Here's
but
what
by
I would
Union
do.
Square is still
I would
good.
get an order of the chive and pork dumplings and the mushroom pork buns. They would give you 3 mushroom pork buns and they would give you 4 dumplings, and then I would just eat them like one and then the other,
Like
one then the other, like kind of
Yeah.
like a sandwich. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like not a sandwich, but
yeah, I know
you know
what
what I mean. Like
So-
just I would trade off eating dumpling, mushroom pork bun.
If I had
dumpling,
to choose,
mushroom pork.
I
bun.
would choose the Hot Pot, which is a delicious Trini restaurant over on Flatbush.
D hot pot.
Yeah, D-E, Hot Pot. They only take cash, so don't bring your card there. All the stuff is good. The roti, the rice and peas, the pulori, the pepper pot, the oxtails. All the stuff is good. It's delicious. It is the doubles, especially the doubles. Now, I will still say I've still never found...
What is it?
The doubles. Sorry.
I have still never found a double as good as I've like as a Trini, like a real like in Trini double. But no, the hot pot I would definitely say it deserves all of the folks going there because I love them and I want them to stay forever, even with all the change of the neighborhood. So I would pick that one.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's move on.
What's up next?
So, Nelly and Ashanti had a surprise. Well, Nelly threw a surprise baby shower for Ashanti. Last week. I think it was last week. It came out. I think it was the first or the second. He had.
We didn't even talk about how aged Drake looks.
Oh shit, we didn't. Sorry. Take off the Ashanti thingy, the Ashanti banner.
Okay, yeah. Just real quick, we'll go.
Just. I think this was just the cherry on top. The cherry on top for Kendrick this is how Drake looked at the Mark Rubin, whatever, Rubin's.
Yeah, at Ruben's. He first
white
off,
party. First of all, he's not even wearing white. That's cream.
this is
And that guy, he
BBL
looks like
Drizzy at his most deflated.
That guy he's hugging onto, is that Mike Rubin or Rubin? Is that Rubin? Because he looks like Calogero from A Bronx Tale. And I've been trying to figure out who this man is this whole time. He does. He looks like him. And I love that movie, Calogero.
Yeah.
But Drake, he put out a picture last week on his Instagram.
He looks like bald John Turturro.
He does kind of look. He put a picture out on his Instagram, and it looked like he had this flawless skin. Like he had been
he's aged 10
injecting
years.
like baby blood into his skin. But in this picture, he looks haggard. That's why in Kendrick's
the
song,
Botox.
Kendrick said Getty's gonna tell you the truth or something like that. So
Yeah.
You
What
know.
is it? The braids?
he doesn't even have. He has flat twists.
Yeah.
In this, I looked at it.
What
It's
is-
flat twists? He has
What is it,
flat
the braids?
twists that go into 2-strand twists, which is not a bad style. But
It's not a bad
I
style,
think he doesn't
but-
want to wear braids because he's worried about. What
Yeah, I
Kendrick
know.
said.
I know. Look,
What is it, the braids?
it's literally the reason why he won't wear braids anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna do every other
Oh,
style
my
besides
goodness.
braids because of Kendrick.
Okay. All right.
Now we can move on.
Now we can move on to Ashanti. There we go.
Yeah, so they Nelly threw Ashanti a surprise baby shower at the Dolce & Gabbana baby boutique in New York City. Lots of people were there. I my feelings about Nelly, so I'm not going to talk about him.
Thank you.
I am grateful that she is happy. It turns out that they got married in December in St. Louis, which is lovely for her.
Maybe they did it near the arch.
Maybe. I hope that she is happy. I hope that she is healthy. And I just, I love seeing older moms because it's so many people talk about oh, you haven't gotten married by 30. You're never gonna get married and have a baby and you're old and da 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 da. But she's in her 40s. I think she might be 43. So which is not to say that's not a high risk, but she had a baby when she was ready. She has been hot all her life.
Mm-hmm.
She has been doing the damn thing.
Yes.
She has been just enjoying herself, and she decided when the time was right for her, she was gonna have a baby. Now the man she chose to have a baby with.
When she was ready, she was gonna have a baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby.
Anyway, congratulations to them. I hope that she
Congratulations.
has a healthy pregnancy, and is just doing well. Moving forward to Essence Fest.
I hate
No,
No.
I didn't really. Okay. When you said you wanted to get a new mixer, is it because we're gonna get more? Will we get more of these so we don't have to switch through?
No, it'll still be the same number of pads,
I
but
hate those pads.
at least we'll be able to have more of able to switch.
I want to switch easier.
I do as well. I would like to be able to switch easier.
Essence Fest.
Yeah, Essence Fest.
Essence Fest. So this was a 30-year.
That still doesn't seem like it's spelled right.
ESSENCE.
Okay, I guess it is spelled right.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at words and I'm like,
yeah,
it doesn't look like. It doesn't look right.
sometimes looking at words, it's like you don't look like the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, like Wednesday.
Yeah.
February and Wednesday. Always.
Wednesday?
It's too many letters.
Because that D is in there.
Wednesday. Who did that? What
Wednesday.
dumbass did that? Anyway. Essence Fest celebrated 30 years in New Orleans this past weekend. They had a lot of different events. Of course, Essence Fest is not just the music. It's kind of like a Coachella or Afropunk where they have a lot of
I used to think that it was
speakers.
VH1 Soul, the festival, but now it's literally just 90s and early 2000s.
They've actually been making
the festival.
They've been really changing up because I think that like Essence, when we were growing up, to me, I always thought of Essence as like our moms.
Who was the fucking friends of Birdman and Friends?
Cash Money.
Yeah, but who? Okay, who?
Juvenile, Lil Wayne was there.
Oh, okay.
Like
All right.
Cash Money, like Cash Money
Okay,
millionaires.
Cool.
You don't know who the Cash Money millionaires are?
No, I know who the Cash Money millionaires are. It's just that when you
Were
say
they supposed
Birdman,
to put all the people's names? There's a lot of people in
they
Cash
could have
Money.
literally just said Birdman and Cash Money.
Okay. Either way.
When you
That's not
say
important.
Birdman and Friends,
That's
it
not
makes me think
important.
that they're gonna be friends, which is crazy because he owed a lot of people money. and he
Anyway,
dicked a lot of people
Essence
over
Fest
when it came
is
to money.
like, I would say it's like the Black Coachella, because you have several days of all these people coming to New Orleans, all these Black people, all these aunties, but it's also kids come, people of all ages, and there's music, there are panels, there's booths, like there's discussions, and it's not just about like having a good time. They also talk about, health, women's health, different things that are impacting the Black community. They had Auntie Maxine was there talking about the election. So they had Kamala Harris. I don't know if she was there in person or if she did a Zoom, but I know I saw images of people talking to her and all that. So it's like a all-inclusive kind of event. But I did get to watch, they had a live stream, and I got to watch some of the performances. So I saw the Cash Money. That one was really good. I saw the SWV perform, Tanks and Bangers, The Roots. My favorite one was Janet Jackson. I watched her whole entire set. It was gorgeous. She's gorgeous. That's like who
And still doing it.
still doing it. I think she's 58.
Did you
years
know
old.
that Nas went to go see her in Connecticut?
Oh no, I didn't. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Good for you, Nas.
Actually, no, not in Connecticut, in Jersey.
Good for you.
It
'cause
was
I would
it
have
was
loved to
literally
see her.
like the same weekend that you went to go see Janae
Jhené
Aiko. Yeah.
Yeah. Usher.
It might have
appeared-
been Connecticut, cuz I was about to say like there's no way that like they would be both in Janet Jackson and Janae Aiko in
Oh yeah, because
Jersey.
Prudential. There was
Yeah.
only. But Usher performed his whole Confessions album
Nice.
there. It was a great time, and all the pictures I saw, everybody looked great. All the aunties were happy, so it was like, this is beautiful. I love it. So, well,
And Busta Rhymes,
yeah, Busta Rhymes was there.
he literally
was
was like,
upset.
"Yo, get the fuck off your phones, live in the moment." And I am right there with him. I am absolutely right there with him. Everybody get off their fucking phones and actually be in the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I never, you know what? That's why there's going to be very few pictures of me at my funeral because I'm not busy taking photos of myself.
But you don't
at
need. But
events
you're
and
not.
shit
No,
like
you're
that.
busy playing
I'm
Candy
busy-
Crush and Two Dots and that other new game you have, and watching wrestling recaps.
Yeah. That's
Not being present. You can't be present if you're on your phone the whole time.
I'm present when I need to be.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not. If
Yes,
you,
I am.
If you were walking down
Wait
the
a
street,
minute, time out. You
and
telling
there
me
was
at a fucking concert I'm not present?
no, at the True Hill concert, the first
Oh!
20 minutes, you spent doing
No,
this.
because that was fucking Royal Rumble. It's not my fault that Drew Hill canceled their fucking event, moved their event 3 different times, and it just so happened to land on fucking. I got fucking scammed in Jersey that night as well.
Maybe if you were being more
So,
present, you wouldn't have gotten.
I was present. I was present enough to see that someone was buying a gift card
Yeah,
and
why? 'Cause
using
you're
it
always on
while
your
I was
phone.
on my goddamn phone.
Because you're always on your
And I
phone.
was on my phone, and I was able to catch that shit and deactivate that account and get my fucking money back.
So, would you say that it's important for people to be present around their surroundings and seeing things so that they can remember the moment? And
At
be
special events, yes.
No, engage. So it's only
At-
special events. You don't think that people should be present in general when they're around people talking to them? That you don't think that they should? It's important to be present in a conversation with the people around you Only if it's a super super special event.
Not super special, just special.
So
Just
you
a-
don't
just a
think that it
special event.
matters for you to be present in a general sense?
In a mundane sort of
You don't
event.
think that you should be able to be not an event? I'm talking about
at a mundane moment in time?
No, I'm talking
Don't be
about
present.
okay,
Stay on your phone.
eating dinner. You don't think eating dinner with other people is a special enough event for you to be present?
No, I don't.
Why not?
You're just eating dinner.
That's not just eating
Like,
dinner. You're connecting with the person.
No, not really. Unless if
you
you're not,
can't
you're
be
not,
connected to them
you're
if you're
not
looking
really-
at your phone.
Exactly.
So
you don't have to connect.
So you don't want to connect with people while you're on the phone, while you're eating dinner. You don't want to connect with people in the small moments in life when you're
I don't want to be connecting with anybody while I'm eating dinner. While I'm eating dinner for sustenance. I need to live, okay? Like,
That's good to know. Okay,
it is good to know.
glad to know that in connection.
This is the stance. This is the
not-
hill that I will
glad
die
to know
on.
that connection is not important to you, and that
Except
all the
at
time,
special events.
all
Except
the
at
time
very
and
special
energy
events.
that someone puts into creating a meal for you, and putting their sweat and tears into the thing is important.
Why are you crying at a meal? Why are you crying cooking?
Do onions not cause you to cry?
When was the last time onion has been in a meal?
You wouldn't know because you don't cook.
I eat the food, so
So
I would know.
You wouldn't know. No, you
I would know.
No, you wouldn't,
If
because you
I'm
could put
eating
onions
the food.
in various ways.
If I'm eating the food, then I would know.
Not you won't know if you're not being present. You're on your phone.
No, I would know because I would taste the onions and
Cutting
the
this
onion
out.
taste.
Move on, because you're.
We're not cutting this out.
I am cutting it out.
No, you're not.
I'm going to.
No, you're not.
Your bullshit
What's
takes
next?
on connection.
What's next? What's next?
I'm looking.
Well, we can't have dead air. But that was Essence Fest, and yeah, I wish I could go. Like that seems like
Be
a
on your
fun.
phone the whole time.
It's a special event, so the answer would be no if you heard the premise of what I was saying. So no, I would not be on my phone at Essence Fest. Anywho, next up we will talk about
Bruno, no.
this is what we're talking about. Boom, here we go.
So shout out to Biniman Gourmet. Biniam, thank you, who made history as the first African rider to win the Tour de France. Now I'm gonna say he's African, but I'm gonna say from his name he's probably Ethiopian or Eritrean. But I'm looking it up right now because I feel like calling him African. Yeah, he's Eritrean. Look at me. And wow, he was born April 2nd, 2000. Okay, congratulations.
If you don't mind me asking, and I have no problem with admitting my ignorance, where is he from?
He's from Eritrea.
Where is that?
So Eritrea used
Or
to
what
be
region is that
Eritrea
in
used
Africa?
to be a part of Ethiopia until they had
Oh.
a civil war,
Okay.
and then Eritrea went. It's like Pakistan and India.
Okay, so it's its own
Yes.
country. Okay,
You
cool.
remember in DC how there was little Ethiopia, little
Yeah,
Eritrea?
yeah. I didn't know that there was an Eritrea.
Yes, well, that's because there was a civil war and it was created, and it's still there's a lot of similarities, but there's also some differences. It's like if Biafra would have won the war, it would be Biafra in Nigeria.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
But he won. Congratulations to him, and the fact that he's the first Black African to win is crazy.
That is crazy because but that just goes to show that firsts are still being made out here in the world.
And that's both like a cool thing, but also really fucked up. Like the Tour de France has been around for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why he should be the first. But it just talks about how we have been constantly, moved out and forced out and not able to have the space to do things. So congratulations to you, Gourmet. All right. So do you want to... Oh, and then the last thing that we want to talk about for pop culture is an update on a Bob's Burgers.
Right. Yes. So, I actually... Here we go. So, Jay Johnson, if you have ever seen Bob's Burgers, you may know him as Jimmy Pesto Sr., Bob's rival at the pizza place or the Italian place that's right across the street from Bob's Burgers. And you might notice that he hasn't been on the show for a little while.
Well, you wouldn't notice that he's on the show because Jimmy Pesto's on the show, but he has a different voice actor.
Jimmy Jr. is on the show a lot.
Jimmy Pesto's been, but it's a different voice actor.
Oh, really? They replaced him finally?
Yeah, they replaced him.
Because there was like a few seasons where he just was not on the show.
No, there were a few seasons when he wasn't there, but they replaced him recently because of the new season. They had a new one. Because I remember he's been in a few episodes for this past season. His replacement is, drum roll, Eric Bauza. Which he did a really great job because it doesn't really sound that different.
Yeah.
So good on you, Eric Bauza, for taking over this dummy's place.
Yeah, no, because the voice actor Jay Johnson decided to
Storm the Capitol.
storm the Capitol.
Which honestly, if you think
stop
about
the
it,
steal.
Jimmy Pesto would have 100%.
Oh no, for sure, Jimmy
Storm the castle.
Jimmy Pesto
Or the castle.
definitely seems like he would be a Trump supporter for sure.
Yeah, he definitely would have. So that wasn't shocking, but good that he finally is getting his just desserts. And are you ready?
It made me realize that I don't care about anything in this country enough to like storm, just to storm. Like I'm not storming nothing.
And then speaking of storming the Capitol, I wanted to talk about this. I was going to do this in the What Makes Me Angry, but I don't know if we're going to have time for that.
I don't think we're
So
gonna.
I'm going to just do it real quick.
Time
Pull
for it.
up. There's a Economist had a very controversial cover that came out last week, and I was frustrated by it because, of course, after the last debate between Trump and Biden, folks were talking about whether Biden is able to do this, et cetera, et cetera. But some of the conversations were ableist because they're just talking about, oh, he's slurring his speech, or can he do this? Can he walk? And then they have this, and walkers are not a punchline. Like, there are so many people who use different mobility devices, whether it's a walker, a cane, crutches, etc., that have nothing to do with your capacity to be the president. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair or whatever, you could easily be the president if you have an invisible disability, if you have a physical disability. That is not something that should be made fun of, and especially it is Disability Awareness Month. So it's like y'all are just playing in our faces, and this is not a punchline. Like, nobody cares that Biden is old. We care that he's a fucking genocidal aider and abetter.
Nobody cares.
Okay?
Nobody cares.
I never get a chance to use that.
I know.
drop,
It
so,
worked. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care that Trump's old. I care that he will create tyranny in this country. And he's a criminal and a rapist and has done a lot of shitty things and created, an issue in this country throughout the pandemic that caused more people to get sick and die than need be. So, like, all of these reasons have nothing to do about their physical capability. It is about, like, them having a disability or cognitive, physical, or otherwise. It is about their actual characters and their ability to be the president for the whole entire United States and be able to wield the power we have around the world in a way that is going to make sense for everyone. So I just wanted to say a fuck you to that, because that's bullshit, especially during this month. Like, economists, do better. Everybody, do better. Like, because it's fucked up. We have enough ableism going on. We don't need any more.
You've got to do better, Senator.
All right, do you want to go over what makes us happy?
Real quick, we can. How about you start?
Are you going to do the song or no?
Can't have dead air. Of course I will.
Aren't we
do
just going to
this.
cut it out?
Here we go. Okay, so what made us happy this week? You go first.
All right. Well, I will say over the last week, what made me happy was my friend Ashley Reese. She had her annual July 4th barbecue, which was great. And we ended up watching the British elections, which was hilarious. Labour Party won, which was good, although there's still some Islamophobia that is weird and wonky going on over there. But, you know, in British elections and the French elections this week, the non-conservative
the
non-far right parties were winning.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that like it's like great. It means it's like there's still more work to do, but like awesome.
Sure.
Democracy.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it was great seeing Ashley and all of the different friends who I've been seeing over the years. She always makes, she's created a home. And I love to be there and a part of that. So that made me happy.
Okay, and what made me happy this week was spending time doing this podcast, spending time with my family for family game night.
Oh, yes, mine too.
Yeah, and just spending a lazy Sunday, just resting and sleeping and catching up on Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Mass Effect 2 is probably the better of the 3 games.
Really? Why?
Because your choices actually like matter more in that game than they do in Mass Effect 3.
Have you played Mass Effect 3 before?
Yeah, I did. It's been fuck me. It has been years since I have played all of these games, but I am enjoying going through and playing them again. In many cases, I'm playing the more expanded versions of these games because, like, I just played the straight out the box games when I was younger, without the DLCs, the downloadable content. And now I get to play the extra content, like the thing that you saw me playing before, where I was like in the Omega. That was downloadable content that I had never played before. And now I have new guns that I can take into the main mission. And it's fun. And it's just fun.
It's good. It's good to have fun.
Yes. It is good to have fun. Yeah, that's everything that's making me happy. And I think that's pretty much everything that we had for the podcast. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
You're right. So, everyone, enjoy your week.
We will be back next week with more mayhem, mirth, and merriment. And, sometimes we're not going to agree with each other.
Maybe murder.
Yes. Yes. Fun, mayhem, merriment, and murder. First off, you're not murdering me. That's not happening. If anybody's getting murdered, it's not going to be me. Just for the record.
Ha!
No, you can't murder me. Anyhow, so until next time, take it easy, keep it sleazy. We will be back with more next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's ThatsOD_THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.